There's cracks along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just out of reach. You know the clock is ticking, and you know there's no guarantees. So you fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me, and you ask me if you're crowding me, but you were always my fantasy. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope, got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know that you can tell me when nobody will take your calls. You know I'll be behind you when you try to smash down those walls. It's gonna be amazing when they find out just who you are, cause you kept believing even when the pain was so damn hard. Why don't you fall into my arms and you can squeeze the hell out of me, and you'll ask me if I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope, got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. I got this picture in my mind of us leaving them all behind. Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind. It's like we're living on a prayer. Our faith will show us our way there. We're gonna make it all the way together. It's just us together. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope, got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up cause we can't fall down, and then we trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. All your love. Yeah. Ooh. Don't you wanna give all your love? Yeah. There's cracks along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just out of reach. You know the clock is ticking, and you know there's no guarantees. So you fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me, and you ask me if you're crowding me, but you were always my fantasy. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope, got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up cause we can't fall down. that you can tell me when nobody will take your calls. You know I'll be behind you when you try to smash down those.
Yo, what's up, guys? What have we gotten here tonight so far? I see Joyce. I see Tiny. I see a lot of cool people in here this evening. Nick Gundy, what's going on? What's going on? Sear, hey. So guys, that song you're listening to is a song that I'm mixing today. I need to turn it down for myself. Shit. Did I see Metro come in? Hey, Metro, what's going on? Did your guys' session go well? I know that Joyce went recently to Los Angeles and hung out with Metro and made some music. I'm sure it went really well. Nick Gundy, I saw that you were here early. You playing anything cool tonight, Sear? Amazing session. Very good. I have no doubts. I have very talented friends. Oh, God. Shit, excuse me. I have very talented friends. Oh, yeah, Kalinsky, rock and roll, dude. Rock and roll, man. I know it's late over there in Europe. Oh, stop it. Sears exhausted tonight. Oh, yeah, I saw the pictures in the Discord, dude. Yeah, Metro, I know it's the voice in your head. Hey, Celestine. How you doing, darling? Love you too. Good to see you. Rainy, hey. Yeah, you know what? Do the shout outs, guys. Do the shout outs. But you know, as we pick up some more people, we're gonna talk about some of these cool streamers in here later on as well. I'm just turning off the song for now so we can get into things. No Pants Kyle, what is going on? I had a great time hanging out with you and Todd and and Tiny last night. Oh, Celeste, tell your brother I said what's up, would you? Hey, Jens, what's going on? Dude, you got an awesome channel. Good to see you. We're mixing today, so I hope it isn't too boring for some of you. Good to see you guys. Look at this, Celestina with a resubscribe for 13 months. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. I've been listening to you and lurking on you for over a year, man. Cool, Celestine. Give him a big sloppy kiss for me. Good to see you guys. Oh shit, that's loud. Excuse me. Yeah, so today, guys, we're doing something a bit different. The streams, excuse me, that fucking song. The streams that I've come back to, because some of you guys that are coming in remember me from doing the drumming streams. You know, it's all production and songwriting and composition now and mixing masterclasses. So, you know, we're gonna try something a bit different today. The last few streams I did coming back to all this, was interesting because it was pretty much all heavy music. I'm just fixing my camera, guys. It was all heavy music, and I figured, you know, we should explore a couple of things. He gave me the strangest looks. Yeah, that's awesome. That's why I told you to do that. I miss you guys too. I do. I have to come see you sometime. Yeah. So today, you know, we're gonna go ahead and do a bit of a mixing masterclass. My format is generally about 2 to 2.5 hours, and obviously, you know, if I was to do a full mix through this process, you know, yes, Jens, it is. Then obviously we'd be here for many hours. So I try to kind of go through this. The song you heard on the intro is in fact this song. It's a beautiful tune I had co-written with a great singer-songwriter from Los Angeles called Craig Hasenbank. He used to go by Craig Banks. Also like one of the best blues guitar players I've ever heard. And it's a song that we had co-written, I produced years back, and I thought it was a really great platform for us to explore mixing kind of like that top 40s, active rock. So if anyone in here is fans of, say like Train, Gin Blossoms, early John Mayer, he's got kind of a Bryan Adams sort of thing going on too. Seer, thanks for that sub, dude. Thank you so much for that. This is kind of what we're dealing with today. So we're going to take a different sort of approach than what has happened in the last streams, where we were all kind of doing heavy music. So we're going to change it up today. Cheers to you guys. So like I said, let me get some more light up here. This is going to be in my normal 2.5 hour format. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, Kyle, this is Knob Creek. Same was drinking with you last night, but can't stay that long. I know it's late in Sweden. Jens, thank you so much. I'm going to start doing some streams that are earlier, okay? And, I need to be more active in your chats, dude. You're a rock star. But yeah, we're going to take the same approach that I do through all my mixes, which is basically the top-down approach, and kind of taking things as minimally as possible, making good decisions, quick decisions, to inform sort of the rest of the track. There's a lot of tracks here. You can see on the screen now, all these blue tracks are all the drums. There's a lot going on in there. A lot of buses. The green things are buses. We have some acoustic guitars, tambourine, shaker. If you guys know me, you know me well, you know that I love tambourines and like really love tambourines. I put them on everything, even metal. Acoustic guitar effects. Looks like I played some B3 organ on this. I played all the instruments on this, by the way. Drums, bass, guitars, B3 organ, with the exception of one really cool musician, guys, I can't wait to talk about in a second, who was a part of this production. So I played electric guitars, it looks like, a bunch of electric guitars, probably arpeggios and things like that. Looks like I did some slide guitar. I played piano on this thing. And then here we get to this section that triangle, no triangle in this one. I can't think of a place that would work. Even when I was in the symphony, I didn't even like that instrument. But guys, this is really cool. You can see here these sort of like darker blue tracks on the screen. These are all like strings. This is from double bass to cello, viola section, violin section. This musician, which we'll probably get to near the end of the stream when I start adding this in for texture, is really special. So this musician is called Stevie Black. So he's kind of like me in the sense that he's a multi-instrumentalist, but he plays all of the instruments that you would find in a normal orchestral string ensemble, philharmonic ensemble. Stevie Black you guys have all heard Stevie Black through all of your ears all over the world. He's the one that did all the strings for Pink's Sober. He did all the strings for Rihanna's Rehab. Pretty much anything you heard from Weezer with strings on it recently, it's all Stevie Black. He also played on Ely Golding Lights. So I have a very special musician to bring into this sort of towards the end of the thing. Kyle, very cool. He and I share the same management, so I get a special deal with him. So it's really fun. Also the Candlebox album that I just produced, that's now out. I had to kind of brag more about my very talented friends, especially in the strings area. I had Marta, who's the violinist and violist for Beyonce, was actually on the Candlebox record as well. Thank you, Seer, for that, for the 100 bits, dude. The support really helps. I know it's not like a performance stream, and it means a lot to me when just for getting that support. Yeah, no, I get it, Seer. Thank you. So, all right, guys, let's actually get to it. Let's start with our rhythm section here. Oh God, I get fucking Snapchat notifications on my goddamn watch. That needs to. What am I, 13? Okay. So what we're gonna do right off the bat is I'm going to go ahead and start muting some of these sections. I just kind of want to start from the rhythm section. I've got some cool vocalists on this thing too. Let me just, I see that I've got some vocals to reroute here. Excuse me. And we're going to start with, the drums and bass. We're just going to kind of listen to what's going on. And again, we're going to go in, we're going to discover what tracks were given and, kind of make very, again, quick decisions and start bringing things in. We start to go back and do surgery to some of these tracks as we start to hear them in action. So I'm just muting things and buses of things. We just want to hear drums. So I also want to make the comment that for all you geeks out there, and for anyone that's recording their own material, you should find some inspiration from this one because of the simple fact that I had to do this recording. Sort of on location, or at least the drums recording I had to do on location. What I mean by that is, we were far from my recording studio or any of my recording studios in Los Angeles. And I had to use a really cheap recording interface, kind of embarrassingly cheap, like high noise floor, really like low dynamic range. And the question is, can we get this drum set to sound pro, like it would have been recorded like at East West or NRG or something like that? So let's actually take a look. We're just going to kind of go in. My drums are all running, right? There's nothing on them. They are all running into this thing you see called drum sub. So there's actually just an SSL bus compressor running on this and nothing else. And just to control transients, I like to mix through that thing. And let's go ahead and kind of discover what we got going on. Oop, I hear a guitar. I need to mute. There we go. Oh, God. Right off the bat, I can tell that these drums are recorded on some cheap fucking preamps. Okay, not a bad kicked mic. These are nice drums, too. I played my beautiful Pearl 6-ply birch, Scandinavian birch drum set on this. So this is the kit's good. Those are workable sounds there. I feel like I'm missing some lower mids. We might use samples to augment. Oh God, I'm like terrified to hear this snare drum. That's not bad. Under mic. Hey, Geronimo. Okay, that's not bad, but that's going to need some love. There's like a lot of mid-range information missing from that. That's going to get lost in the song later. Let's hear our toms. Wow. So they were edited, and there's a lot of leakage in them. Fuck me. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be an interesting issue to deal with. I was on a Discord call earlier with Unity of Noise, my buddy Jim, and considering the track, I was like, why are there 4 toms on this? And of course, the drummer says, why not? Which is funny. Okay, we're just going to pan toms. So guys, there's no rules to this. I pan my drums in drummer's perspective because I'm a drummer, but you don't have to do that. You can do audience perspective if you want. I'm just kind of arbitrarily doing that for the time being. Assist in the hi-hat track. I already know right off the bat I need to get rid of some low end in that, so we're going to do that now. We're going to high pass. We're going to sync that down in level, because we know we have that information in the overheads too, which I'm scared to listen to. Yep, we'll copy that high pass over to the right here. Oh God, let's hear these overheads. Those actually sounded really good. So we'll just do a little bit of mitigation on low end there for now. Doing a high pass to like 100 for now. All right, Jim, Unity of Noise's favorite thing. The mono room mic, my favorite thing too. Whoa, that's dark. Yeah, this is a small room. We might want to make a separate room mics on this. Well, shit. Let's get to mixing these drums. Let's actually take a look and just, I'm looping a section here. And let's see if we can start bringing out some things, giving them some priority. What are you guys doing in this chat? I see it fucking flying. I see Unity of Noise saying, we can't beat each other up in here. What are you guys doing, dude? Kyle, yes, these are all recorded on a really cheap interface, dude. I forgot what it was. It was probably like some PreSonus thing or something like that. What the fuck are you guys doing in here? You're back there. What are they doing in the chat? Fish talk. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get back. So, okay. What can we glean from this? Man, I have this weird feeling that we're going to need a sample to add to this kick. Because if you guys, any of you guys are audiophiles in here, you can actually hear it's missing like a lot of information, some low mid-range information. Let's try to give it some distortion from the SSL console. Let's do some compression on it just to get some slap. Leakage isn't too bad, but I still want to control it. Just working on that threshold enough to make sure the snare isn't triggering it. You can see here I'm starting to work on the release time of that compressor and getting it to work really, really fast because I don't want it to keep some of the fluttery kicks compressed. I want it to let go so those things can come back up and level. Let's add some high end to this. I already had a lot actually. I'm gonna high pass this too. I'm just doing some boosts in the low end, trying to see where it hits me in the chest the most. God, this is really weak, this kick. I actually really fucking hate this kick drum, Mike. I hate it. Let's try to work with it, though. Let's not overthink it. See, the sub kick, and if you guys don't know what that is, the sub kick microphone is actually like a Yamaha NS10 woofer, a 10-inch woofer that's been reverse polarity, so it receives low end instead of giving it out. So I'm listening to that now, and it's sitting in front of the kit. I can hear this because it's got a lot of leakage in it. I don't want any of that high end in there. I just want this sub kick to give some more like low end bloom. We're gonna get rid of some of the high end here. We're gonna filter it out. It's not in the other room choice. That'd be fucking terrible. As a matter of fact, this needs more help. Like I actually want to use something aggressive to remove that high end out of it. Let's use a one band. Simple. There we go. There we go. Yes. And let's overdo it. Let's put a pad on it. I'm doing that. It's 20 decibel pad because we're gonna try to add 50 hertz to it. Distort it. Let's give some distortion to it. Ooh. Ooh. Let's gate it too. We just want the bloom. Now, if you guys are really critically listening here. I got you, Kyle. I'm gonna answer that question in a sec. You guys are listening very carefully for you audiophiles. If you're looking at the way I'm dealing with this gate circuit on this, you'll notice that if I hit the fast attack on the gate, meaning the gate like works incredibly fast, there's a bit of a click to this sub kick mic. Here, I'll turn it up for you. But watch what happens if I make it a slow attack. It goes away. See? And the reason why we want this is because we're getting all the attack from the inside kick microphone. A couple of questions have come up in the chat. So, No Pants Kyle, yeah, the what leakage is, what I mean by leakage is since we're actually like right now analyzing direct microphones, meaning like, you know, like there's two mics on the kick, you know, there's one that's inside the kick and that sub kick's like outside the kick. So when we're soloing each of these, we're listening to things that are coming through the audio that are not the direct thing. So like, you know, the sub kick's supposed to be getting all the low end from the kick, but you kind of hear some cymbals and you hear like some snare drums and tom fills and stuff that are kind of coming through. And that's that's what leakage is. Yeah, rock and roll, Jory. And then Metro says, when you solo the kick drum or snare drum, leakage. Oh, yeah, he's answering your question. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Metro, by all means. Metro's a professional. Metro's a professional in the industry. Hey, ¿cómo está, pare? Fucking Left Outie, guys. Can we get a shout out for Left Outie? This is my buddy Andrew. Andrew is in he lives east of Los Angeles, but his streams are awesome. He unfortunately went through a fucking stroke when he was very small, survived that, and has the use of one side and plays ukulele while singing and with one hand. It's crazy. And on top of that, he plays Overwatch with me, and he has stolen the gold from me with healing, and he's playing with one hand. Left Outie, guys. Let's get some love for him. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going on this. Okay, let's see how we're gonna put that kick drum inside kick mic back in, and we're gonna sneak that sub kick into it. We want to make sure that there's no phase problems and thinning out. We want to make sure that it's actually augmenting that inside kick mic. Ooh, yes, it is. Let's leave them. Let's keep going. Let's listen to the whole kit again. There's a lot of leakage going on. This is that cheap interface again. Just, I think it's such a low dynamic range going in. I think it's actually bringing up a lot of leakage that it shouldn't be. Okay, this snare drum is going to need some love. One of these ambient mics is sounding like a bag of ass. Nope. God, these overheads. I need to work on these overheads. Getting some low end, more low end out of it, up to like 230. Yeah, Joyce, you got to follow that guy. I hear some mid range I don't like. I'm gonna remove some 4. Now I just subtly did a low pass filter, so I'm removing some high end out of this. A lot of people have asked me before about, why do you do that to overheads when they're so sizzly and important to a mix? This is Pro Tools, Andrew. And the thing is that you guys have to keep in mind that psychoacoustics are extremely important here. So just hearing the overheads and the cymbals alone will give the illusion that actually a lot of high end is already happening. And you're going to hear some of that come back in some saturation circuits later. But I like to get rid of some high end above like 10K and stuff from a lot of the drums, particularly because I like to save that space for like the really nice sizzle and, like airy bits that we're likely going to add to the vocal, which is going to be the most important track on this. All right, we need to compress this. This is crazy. It's recorded. This is nuts. Like, it's so loud. It's pinning the fucking meter. Oh, sorry. It's pinning the meter right there. Had that. A little bit of distortion, little saturation from the console. I'm gonna use a fast attack on this with a high ratio. We want to, Christ, I want to sink in those snare hits. There we go. Yeah. Adding some high-end shelf around 8 or 9 or something like that. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time in the solo. We need to hear this in context. Wow. So just those moves alone and the overheads really gave us a lot of priority with those direct microphones. Gotcha, Seer. A lot of parents in the chat. We understand. Okay, not bad. So I just have to be okay with the fact that this is gonna generally have like a pretty organic sound. It's just the way the drums are recorded. We're gonna see if we can use this to our advantage. Okay, I've got to hear a part with the toms in it because they freak me the fuck out. Let's clean up those toms. Holy shit. That tom 2, I think it's like my 12-inch that's been like tuned up pretty high. Oh, that's disgusting. There's like a lot of boxy shit in there. Wide band, 350 hertz. Let's take it out. Oh, let's tighten the band. Again, you're always going to see me do a low pass and high pass of some of these drums. Okay, let's reshape this. We need to reshape this tom. I'm going to bring some low end back to this tom. I pad this too. I must have had to move really fast, like in a foreign room, cheap interface to make this happen. I don't record stuff this badly, to be honest. Say 12? Are you're talking to me, Left Outie? Just some compression. Oh, it's nicer. So actually, I'm going to copy that channel into the other toms. We know we're going to have to shift a few things around just for those other toms. But let's just see how this feels. Okay, a little wetter, like less boxy shit in the toms. Yeah, actually, that's pretty nice on that one. Sounds like my 14-inch. Remember, these are birch drums too. They tend to be like really attacky. Hey, Todd, what's going on? Long time no see. Not like I wasn't getting drunk with you in the middle of the night last night. Wait, what? Yeah, we're going to move the low end point of the boost on some of these toms as they go down. Right. Okay, let's listen. I just want to solo out that. Okay, that is definitely a 16-inch tom. We're listening to the 4th tom now, and it got way too much high end. Let's actually give it a lot of low. Let's take a risk. Take a risk. Yeah, I like that. The shitload of 98 hertz, almost 10 dB of it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. These are quick moves. Something chalky about that overhead. I'm going to remove a wide band around like 700 or so. Ooh. That's beautiful. That's cool. So that, again, we're removing a lot of frequencies that are being added by this cheap interface. Vampire, hey, what's going on, dude? All right, let's get this snare drum to pop a bit. Oh my God, the interface is terrible. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna clean this up with the gate real quick, and let some leakage in. We're gonna take that range down. We're gonna leave some leakage in. We like that. Okay. Again, this is actually going all through this drum sub that I have highlighted here. You can see a few plugins that are on. The blue ones are bypassed. It's just an SSL compressor, bus compressor. Let's see how this is reacting. Okay, it's fine. So I'm gonna go ahead now and load up a Shep's Omni channel. This is basically like a Neve channel. I'm gonna give some saturation to the kit and kind of do a top-down sort of EQ to the whole kit. Let's see if we can kind of clean it up before I get too surgical with some of the solo tracks. Removing some of that dirt around like 600-ish. I'm going to boost 92 around the whole kit. With some mid-range around 3 or so for some priority and some of that energy. Cool. Let's leave that overall EQ going and work on that snare a bit more. I hear distortion all over this from that cheap interface. Here's a bottom snare right off the bat. Let's get low end out of there. Huge low pass. And I'm just gonna kind of give it a bell frequency around like 6. And we're just gonna slam this with a fast attack on a compression. We want to get these snares to kind of have a nice sort of like purpose under the snare drum. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of an expander there. It's gonna be a bit more of a nicer gate, just to bring the range, the leakage down a little bit around that snare. Let's sneak that into the kit. It's still crispy. It's weird. In a bad way. All right, I took out some 4K and 800 out of it. Okay. That mono room has a lot of low end energy in it. We're gonna go ahead and you hearing that, Jim? Unity and noise, you hearing that? Okay. I already know I'm gonna get a lot of low end out of the mono room because I don't want any low end to fight to the rest of the direct sources from this. The mono room mic is a really nice microphone to use. It adds a lot of sweat into the kit. Let's sneak her in. We can give it some compression. Just take some 800 out of that. Some mid-range crap. And these far room mics. Oh, what? Can you guys hear that? Wait. Nope, it's okay. Oh my God. I can tell that that's running through my hardware 1176 compressors already. Oh yeah, let's chill this out. Get the low end out of it. Get some of that 800 out again. And just leave it. Let's sneak it into the kit. How does it sound when we sneak it in? Go to 0 here. The snare drum still has this weird sort of like purpose right now in the current mix, just level mixes of the drums. I'm going to do something that I know that Unity of Noise is going to love. Bunch of weird low, mid low frequencies. A lot of it added into the snare drum top. Ooh, Jim, Unity of Noise. Did you hear that? Oh boy, see? 9 decibels, again, at 300. Now we can give some more high end to it. Okay, now I'm just gonna listen to the kit for a second and just kind of study, are there any weird frequencies that are popping out how they shouldn't be? I don't know. Let's see. There's a weird thing. There's like a note in there. That's like a tom. It's like a, every time the snare hits, there's like a, Fuck, I hate that. What is that? Oh, it's in the fucking snare mic. Shit. Yes, it did. It did, Metro. I was afraid of that. As you can tell, Metro, I tried to look for it somewhere else. Oh, God. We need to use a sample on the snare, guys. Or can we cheat it? Let's see. Let's go lower on the low mids. It does sound like 220, like the sine wave of like 220. All right, I'm not going to go take too long on this. This is ridiculous, spend this much time on drums. But I'm going to go ahead and put a one band in, and let's see if we can node that fucker out of there. Here we go. Oh! But no. I gotta use a fucking bell, excuse me. Let's use a small bell. I guess the low end on this snare is gonna happen somewhere else. I'm gonna try not to use a fucking sample. I really don't want to have to. Let's go low. Let's go 120. Fuck this mic. Let's just hear it in the whole context. Okay, we may not hate that later on. All right, let me catch up with chat. There's gonna be This is we knew if you were in my Discord earlier when I announced that this was gonna go down. We all knew I did make a sort of an amendment to my announcement. We all knew I was gonna be dealing with a drum set that was recorded with a cheap interface. Let me catch up the chat a bit. Yeah, it's basically a bunch of drummers talking their smack. I'm talking to Unity and Noise and Metro. Okay, so it's pretty obvious to me that we're going to need to put a snare sample in this thing. We're going to augment it. So I have a track here set up, and I have a good idea of what needs to go down on this particular drum. And I know that Metro is really going to enjoy this because he is going to be very familiar with what I'm about to use and probably very familiar with the samples. Yes, I'm having a smoke. It's time to kind of zen out and get into this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send this top snare mic to this Steven Slate trigger. And we're going to, the first thing I'm going to do is, well, actually, there's a Black Beauty on it. What does that sound like? Let's see. Oh. Kind of ringy. Let's do this. We're gonna change this up. I'm gonna get rid of all this shit, and the first thing I'm gonna do, Metro, is throw on that David Bendeth, Vinnie Paul snare that he used on Paramore. Let's audition some of these, and we'll dry him up. We'll dry him up in the controls. Why not? Mono overhead. Mono. I don't need the mono room on that. Overhead gives some. Yeah, gives some. I'm not gonna need that room. I'll put it in there anyway. Oh my God, guys, this is some work. I'm not killing the room. I'm keeping the room, Unity and Noise. All right, let's. Okay, we're gonna need to right off the bat. We need to control this snare drum. I don't like the ring on it for this song. So we're going to go in, we're going to solo each of these mics. Oops. So I'm just configuring the sustain and release of the drum. And now I'm gonna listen to the drum that's coming through it. Will I need to tune this drum towards it? Ooh, maybe. Yeah, let's tune it up 11. This is closer to the pitch. We don't want some weird intervals occurring. Bring that room down. Okay. Is your phase against the natural snare? Let's see. This is one of the first times I'm ever going to like go full range on a gate for like an Americana song. Looks like I have processing on this already. Okay, I'm actually, you know what? I'm not that pissed at this. We're gonna let this be. We're gonna check the rest of our drum sub right now. We're gonna look at this comp. Yeah, I'm not mad at this. Fast release. And we're gonna turn on an H compressor here, which I have a preset setting that I made. If you listen to it at full mix, it sounds like this. And I'm just going to mix the dry into that. You can tell at full mix. There's a lot of stuff coming in from the room and between the hits, which I really enjoy. So bypass and in. And we're just going to go ahead and mix in that dry signal to that now. Okay, let's leave that. The drum set really did get to a really cool place in this part of the process. That was a lot of work. How much time did I fucking spend on that? Almost an hour. Jesus. Let's get to the rest of the song. Jesus Christ. All right, so let's go ahead and now bring in. I've never spent that much time mixing a drum set before. That's embarrassing. But you know, this is what has to go down when you've got to work with cheap interfaces and get it to a really cool place. See you in a second, Unity of Noise. Okay, let's bring the bass guitar in, guys. How are we doing? We've got two sources. We've got a bass amplifier. Oops. Oh, that is definitely, that's my Fender Jazz Bass. What's this DI sound like? What do they sound like together? Let's put the amp tone in. Sorry. Put the amp tone in and sneak the DI in. I'm not mad at that. I'm not. Let's go ahead and give it some love. Oh, there's an L1 running too hot on this. Okay. Little compression. Little low end, 120-ish for now. I like to use this Kramer high compressor on the bass. Cool. So there's nothing really running on the direct tracks in the bass right now. I have them going into a bass bus here, which is this green track. There's an SSL channel running on it. Again, we're moving quickly through these just to get the tracks through so we can actually hear the context of everything. And I just took a little bit of low mids out, wideband at 270, boosted around 119 for now. I do have an 1176 set up here to actually receive for a kick side chain. So if you guys don't know what that means that I'm going to send the kick drum to this compressor and tell it to move out of the way of the bass guitar every now and then. That way, every time the kick and bass, whenever they occur at the same time, don't accidentally like sum a lot of the same frequencies together if they should they share them and just kind of affect the mastering process later, or your bus limiter, or just kind of mess with your speakers. So we're going to do a little bit of that. Not as much as I would do with a metal, but I'm going to do it just a little bit here in this context. See, it's just hitting, just if you can see it, it's hitting just not even half dB. That should do. Cool. I already know that the next thing that's supposed to come into this, which will be the acoustic guitars, are like really important. Let's take a look at these. I already have them pre-panned, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what kind of microphones we're dealing with. This is, in fact, is running through a bus down here. I'm going to move the window so you can see it because I know my camera is there. What'd you say, Nick Gundy? It took me long yesterday to find another way to edit less than a minute clip. Oh, what are you guys working on? Okay, let's take a look at these guitars. So there's two microphones on two separate performances. If I'm not mistaken, if Jory's in the chat right now, which I hope he is, you know, This is one of those really cool Martin HDs. Um, Reminds you of Berlin tune. Yeah, dude, I love Berlin. By the way, Geronimo. We always have great conversations about music. Yeah, Jory, this is that Martin HD I said that I used, and it's actually really nice. I'll let you hear one of the mics now. So I have two microphones here. This is years ago. It looks like I labeled them. So one of them is a modified Octava MK012 I can see, which is a small diaphragm condenser. I don't normally use those for acoustics, but it actually sounded really good, I think, when I was kind of miking around the 12th fret. Let's see what that sounds like in the center channel. Oh, there's stuff running on the bus. Excuse me. That sounds good. There's a 414 on this too. Let's solo that. This is really, really interesting. So we are in a situation where we've got one that's giving us a lot of high end and sort of the trebly bits, and then we can sneak in the 414 now. And we got some mid-range, some lower mids. So same process on the other guitar. I've panned both performances hard left and right. Let's see what it sounds like, all those mics together. Now I'm just balancing them out, kind of using just the behavior of the microphones as an EQ. I can see the right channel and also hear the right channel is a bit much compared to the left, so we're going to mess with the levels to match them. I'm looking at my meter there on the bus. Great. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and we got to clean those guitars up a bit. Because if I actually get rid of the acoustics for a second and we listen to our band. Oh shit. What did I do? Oh, there's no drums in this part. Sorry. If we listen to our band here, you can hear there's a lot of already refined sort of like treble and energy from the kit. We know these guitars are going to get drowned by that. Okay, let's put them in. Okay, while it's playing, we're going to go ahead and just kind of open this EQ up. And let's do some processing. We want to clean up a little bit of that lower mid-range. It's kind of wide and muddy. And then we also want to bring out some clarity from these guitars, you know, really sort of appreciating the percussive nature of those 16-note patterns on the right hand and just, you know, giving it priority. This is a main instrument for the song. This guy's a singer-songwriter, you know, and it's basically based around him singing and playing that acoustic. So let's give that some respect now. Cool. I like this. I actually have a stereo chorus that I have loaded from the beautiful Eventide H3000. I used to have one of these, like a real one. I don't know why I sold it. I love these units. We're gonna go ahead and keep this bypassed and see if this stereo chorus actually works in here. I am not mad at this. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in, you know, a really weird plugin I tend to like a lot on acoustic instruments, depending, which is the Crystal Algae, the CLA Unplugged. I generally like these for the reverbs, the delay circuits on them. And we're just going to kind of sneak that in now, give the acoustic some dimension and maybe even some more sparkle. Wait, there's a slap going on from the H3000. I'm going to turn that off. This is sounding pretty cool. Okay, knowing the rest of this song, I already know that the things that are about to come in are about to get really rich. And I can already tell that the drums are going to go ahead and benefit now from some parallel compression and some things to brighten them up and give them even more priority and just kind of give them some more respect, kind of in the sheen and slickness of how they work. Right off the bat, I'm really loving the behavior of these acoustics. They're really shimmery, and I'm enjoying this. Kind of made the drums sound a bit darker than I expected, so I'm just going to give a little high end to that. To the drums as a whole now. So we're just working on that EQ that's on the drum bus. I find it really interesting that I have not replaced that kick drum. I thought I hated that thing. A great example of, you know, move on. Don't spend too much time soloing those things. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and right off the bat, we're gonna now parallel compress these drums. I'm gonna explain to you what that is. We're basically just gonna take the sources that I want to send to my parallel compression channel. So overheads, rooms, like to marry some of the rooms in with it too. We would really just want to get the direct sounds to send over. Okay, so we're sending it to a bus called Drums Pal, which I obviously pre-created to make everything sort of pre-fader. And I'm going to go solo that track now. So these drums are getting bussed over to a parallel processing, which you can see here. It's this channel with this stuff on it. So there's just another EQ going on with some high end and some mid range kind of boosted, some, you know, dirty mid range removed around 600 or so. Another boost at like 92. This is kind of a mirror of the processing that we did to the drum sub. And we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to solo it out so I can hear what's being sent to it. You are hearing a pretty healthy amount of compression. I do have an H comp running on that, by the way. Pretty hardcore. I mean, it's the ratio is low, but this is fucking like compressing hard. Let's bring some more of that room into it. Too much overhead. I want that hi-hat like summing with the other original. What the fuck does that sound like? Let's sneak that in as it plays. Nice. Little punch coming through now. I'm going to open up something to the chat, particularly all the nerds that are sitting here with me. Jory Avner, Unity of Noise, and Metro. Do you guys think this thing needs a sweet plate reverb on the snare drum? Tell me what you think now, and then we can make that decision more. We can decide. We can talk about it again. We're gonna keep it nice and Motown dry for the time being. Thanks, Todd. All right, let's sneak in my B3 organ. I knew Metro was gonna go there. All right, here's my I played organ on this. We're gonna sneak this in. Ooh, listen to that. I think I want this organ to have some distortion on it. And then what we'll do too, you know what? Let's. So I have 3 reverbs that are set up already in the track. I generally kind of work with a nice bright short plate, always set up kind of overall. There's also a nice hall I usually have set up, and then sometimes a cathedral, or as the Metro will know, there's another really great reverb that he actually got me into called Raum, which is made by Native Instruments. So I have these 4 kind of always set up. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw my you just heard the direct sound of the organ, and we're gonna leave it, and then we're just gonna kind of throw this organ into the hall and see how that feels. First thing I'm gonna do actually is just kind of clean it up and make sure it will never clash with any low end instruments. The high pass that you kind of do to everything. This is not supposed to really add a lot of mid range or low mid or bass to anything. I just kind of want it to sizzle. So. Okay, let's leave the organ there for now. I hear you, Jory. I hear you and Metro. Hey, Sir Winalot, what's going on? Another Kyle. What's going on? Good to see you, dude. I'm mixing today. I'm mixing a song I co-wrote and produced, and I'm really proud of the song. And we're just getting to kind of the meat of things now. Okay, so let's see what happens, guys, if I throw this B3 also into the hall. See if it hugs the track, gives us some atmosphere. Thanks, Kyle. Beautiful. How you doing, Kyle? You all right? Oh, man. So I'm happy about this because now we're in a place. All the beauties are in here. That includes you, Kyle. That includes you. We're in a place where I finally got through this goddamn rhythm section, at least to a point where we can continue beyond it. I see what you said. Unity of noise. Well, I don't have any phase issues that I can hear at the time being, but I will keep that in mind. I'm going to take a quick break, and now the fun stuff begins. Let's start bringing in some of these really, really cool other parts of the tunes, my color guitars, and you'll hear some really cool like strings and vocals. And again, I want to say to you guys that just got here, I keep bragging about my friends in my productions, but I've got Stevie Black playing all the strings on this. For those that have just gotten to the chat, Stevie Black and I are managed by the same management company, and he played all the strings. You guys have all heard the strings on Ely Golding Lights, which I know Unity of Noise did a remix on. Post that in the Discord. He played all those strings. You hear Stevie as the strings on Pink's Sober. You hear him on Rihanna Rehab. And you hear him all over Weezer, and you hear him all over, God, I have it right here. Troye Sivan, Panic at the Disco, Collective Soul, Snoop Dogg. He also does like all the strings for Timbaland. So we're going to bring him in later on. It was a pleasure working with him on this particular track. So you guys will, I'm a huge Collective Soul fan, Kyle. I will be right back, you guys. I think I need to go pee-pee. Hey, you guys. Kyle, I saw your comment, dude. Thanks for. I'm glad you enjoyed that track, dude. I had a really weird sort of evening where I heard that track in my head, and it creeped me out, and I had to record it. Thank you, Joyce. So, Beto Boost and Darren, I want to make sure that all of our lovely, talented friends in here get the shout outs they deserve and things like that. I want to let you guys know that I had a really great week with Jory Avner Music. He was in town with me over the last week. What? Jory, she Nikki Donut just went brah like that. We have to explain that later. He wrote a fucking awesome song, and I've been behind the production on it, and I was just Jory's slave throughout this tune. He had some beautiful ideas in terms of instrumentation, and I was sitting there and I'm just like thankful that I get to like be part of that playground of his brain. It was so much fun. So if you don't know who Jory Avner is, you guys have to follow him. Whoever's lurking, watching, and just make sure that you keep in touch with that, because that single's gonna come out and it's gonna rock your shit. I'm so into the work that we did that it's like so hard like not to like play that right now for people, because I know we're really proud of it. And make sure that Joyce gets a shout out too. Joyce is an awesome singer songwriter. She's out of town from her home, from where she lives, and somehow pulled off some really great streams. Yeah, Kyle, that track, that Jory song is fucking rad. And who else do we have in here, man? We got some talent up in this bitch. Oh yeah, also you gotta shout out Seer, because I've been learning about like my new favorite games hanging out in Seer's streams. I don't know if you guys have ever like watched her streams, but like yesterday I went to Seer's stream and she was playing. Well, I mean, I texted her earlier. I guess we were talking on Discord or whatever, and fucking she's like, yeah, I'm gonna play Pac-Man tonight. And I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I love Pac-Man. I want to go watch you play Pac-Man. Dude, Kyle, high five, dude. No, she's loads of fun, bro. Like, it's great. So I like go into her stream. We're talking about Seer here. I go into her stream and I come in late. So she's already been like well into Pac-Man. And then I look at it and it's like some like future epileptic Pac-Man cocaine. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? And I was like sitting there, I was supposed to be working and I couldn't get my eyes off it. And dude, Seer, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things about that moment was like, was that thing that happens when like, you accidentally, you're about to like accidentally hit a ghost, and it does that thing where it zooms in, and just the map, how it's like constantly like fucking thrumming and shit. Like, dude. And oh yeah, by the way, it's Pac-Man competitive on top of this. Cocaine. Oh my god, that Pac-Man's epic. And then she played a really cool game called Hob, which had some really cool Breath of the Wild vibes, and I really enjoyed that. So if you guys, you should follow her and check out her gaming. It's really quite fun. And of course, I can't forget, my mods, Beto Boost, one of the coolest graphic design artists I've met. Streams, and of course, you must follow Vinyl Choice, which is Lord Choice's vinyl stream, which is just awesome. He's doing a greater service than all of us on stream. Totally selfless, playing you the greatest collection of vinyls you could possibly listen to. Yeah, Pac-Man on acid. I don't know about acid. Fucking Pac-Man on fucking cocaine. Pac-Man on Adderall times 30, Oh man. Cocaine. Yeah, Jory, that's how you spell it. Is the way that Todd spelled it. That's how you spell cocaine. Cheers, you guys. I think we covered everyone in there for now. I wish Who is the Metro would do some streams. He's very talented. Who is the Metro in chat? Good friend of mine. Worked on a lot of stuff together and in tandem, and we don't do enough together. And you know, I wish he streamed. We learned so much. He'd be the other modular synth streamer I'd watch besides Heyman Music. Yeah. So oh, you stop it. I love that guy, man. I love that guy. Yes, please stream. Yes, Unity of Noise, definitely Metro must. He must. Heyman Synth, I know. Beto, I know. By the way, guys, I want a huge disclaimer. Do not smoke anything around a fucking $1,200 Neumann microphone. Don't do it. Old Collective Soul CD. Dude, Kyle, see, in my CD collection, that's where that shit would be. It'd be right there next to fucking Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, and next to Candlebox, whose last record I just produced. Please go listen to Wolves. Dude, that's awesome. Let's talk about that later. I'm a huge Collective Soul fan, bro. Oh, Jory, we might need a command, maybe. Maybe it's cringy. So, let's get back to it, shall we? What's our song sounding like right now? Cool, fresh ears. Too much low mid on that that B3 organ, right? So, because that's supposed to just kind of twinkle between things, live in that world between the rhythm section and the acoustic shimmer. So we're gonna remove some 300 from there. This is the B3 organ now, and more high pass. All right, this is the part in my mix. I start just throwing things in. That rhythm section, mixing your drums is always going to be a huge ordeal. Like I said, by the time my streams are usually 2.5 hours long, and I spent 50 minutes on that drum set, and I don't really do that often. And obviously, that was us working with a really cheap interface and all the problems that come with that. So let's go ahead and start throwing rando things in. Some color guitars, things like that. I mean, I don't know. Let's start discovering. I see something really fun going on in this verse 2. Shit, I didn't make markers. It's okay. I think this is verse 2. And let's unsolo, or let's unmute. Oh, that's fun. Let's give that thing a little saturation, but we're going to do something different. We're going to use Sound Toys Radiator first, at least. It's spikier. It kind of has like it just kind of it kind of bullies its way like out into the mix. And I want those repeats to last longer. This delay was printed in. Oh, thanks, Kyle. I should do a stream sometime that's all about like track organization, because it really saves you hours with your mixing process. Okay, so again, you can hear me hit these like chords on my obviously blonde telly. For you guys that know me and know my instruments, it's my blonde Telecaster Nashville style, 3 pickups. It sounds like it's an out of phase setting of some kind, but you'll hear like there's like delays that are baked in here. And they're definitely present when you solo them, but if you listen to it in the track, it's not supposed to be that loud in the track, but I do want those repeats to have some priority. So let's see if we can use some compression to bring this stuff up. Do not start smoking, kids. Do not. Did someone make my bot do that? That's actually really perfect, because don't smoke. Let's throw up a 1176 and see if we can keep the transient of those slaps. Gung, 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 gung. Hey, Samwise, good to see you. Good to see you. Vonsem. Oh, dude, thanks for the tip. I just saw your tip. And I see a message from you. Yo, could you check out my track? Really new producing, and my mixing is far from good. I'm sure your mixing is well on the way, Vonsem. And good to meet you and welcome. My name's Dean Dichoso, and I've been making records for a very long time. Welcome, dude. And thanks for the, maybe you didn't ask me. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called you out. I don't think you put anything in the chat. But thank you for the donation. I got to thank people for that. Will you do me a favor? If you're welcome, by the way, donator, chat. Yeah, the Discord's just been posted. So if you want to actually join that, I generally hang out for a little while after my mixing streams in what's called Dean's control room. It's at the bottom of all the channels. And I kind of tend to take a Q&A there if people want to. I kind of hang out and have my whiskey. But I would love to check out your track and talk to you about that. All right, so let's get back to this guitar. I want to keep that. I want to keep the transient. And if you guys don't know what that means, for those who don't know what that means, the transient is that really fast hit that happens on these chords when I just smacked the chords. Okay, I want to keep that, but I want to see if we can use compression to bring out. Cool, Vonsem, rock and roll, dude. Welcome. I want to use compression to bring out those repeats. Okay, so we're going to use a slow attack on this compressor to allow that transient to remain. We don't want the compressor to push that hit down to compress that first hit. So we're going to use the compression though to maybe like bring some of that hit down, compress it towards the repeats, which are constantly getting quieter and quieter. And we want to use attack and release time to get those repeats to stay as long as they can between the hits. Can we do it? I don't know. Let's see. So you guys are watching me deal with the release time. And for those who don't know what that is, this is how long the compressor remains in action compressing. When you see the release kind of go back up, it's bringing it back to its like normal zero level. And I want to let this release kind of be long because I want to have complete control over all those repeats. That's pretty good. Make up the gain. We'll turn it back up. Let's use a higher ratio. More aggressive. I think this is going to work out really, really well. Really, really well. Let's listen to it before our processing. So we have a radiator running on this for some saturation, some aggressive mid-range saturation. We've got the compressor running. Did we achieve what we wanted? So here's the guitar bare. And if we listen to it in the track bare, it's cool. You can tell why I fucking put that part in there. And then let's put the radiator in. Cool. And then let's see if we actually achieved what we wanted. Are we bringing more of those repeats out while maintaining the transient with this compression? Here we go. Let's get more aggressive. Great. I think we did it. I'm going to make the release a little faster, and we're going to sync it into the track now. For a 4 count, what are you talking about with that 4 count, bud? Pocket snare, hell yeah. Come on, Kyle, you know I play drums a little bit. We're going to sneak that part in. You'll see why. The vocals are about to come in later. I want that brighter, okay? I want that brighter, that guitar. But I want to be careful. Like, we have to look at what we have here, right? Don't add more plugins than you need. We've got that radiator sitting there. And as you can see, there's EQ on it. If I turn up the treble knob on that, will it give me enough brightness out of that guitar that I want? I think it's cool for now. Let's leave it. We're going to go ahead and move on. We'll be informed later when the vocals are in and that part takes more of a purpose. Thank you, Seer, for that comment. Okay, this is a really good time at this point. We've got our rhythm section pumping. We've got our bass guitars, doing its job. It's not getting lost. It has a purpose. It lives in a certain, band of frequencies where, it's doing, it has a purpose. Let's go to a loud part of the song. Maybe like chorus 3 out or something, or maybe chorus 2. And I'm going to jump the gun here. There's enough instruments going on where it's like, do we really care right now about everything, about all the other instruments that we have to add into this? Yeah, of course we do. But the thing is, though, we have to remember that this is a singer-songwriter. That vocal is extremely important. I'm going to go and see what that vocal is doing now before the strings go in and they kind of bring in other guitars. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because if I'm not careful and I actually end up, working on the band and the chamber orchestra that's going on from Mr. Stevie Black, if I start doing that now, then I might actually take up space the vocal will need later. That vocal needs massive amounts of priority. Rock and roll, Jory. See you in a second, dude. Good time for a 13-minute drum solo? No, not in this song. It was a Rush song, yes. Okay, let's go ahead and let's bring in the vocal. Fuck it. Let's go from the top. Oh, this is going to the wrong, this is being bussed to the wrong place. Let's throw in this vocal too. Excuse me, I bussed them to the wrong place. Needs to go to vocals all. Okay.
On the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus with everything you want.
I love Craig's voice. It's so cool.
On the sidewalk, you know the clock is ticking.
Okay, again, don't overthink. We already know that this vocal is going to need some priority. Let's go ahead and start giving it some love. Right off the bat, I'm going to throw my trusty SSL channel on and let's see if we can kind of give it some sizzle and, just give it some real priority. This is the star of our mix. This is the star of our mix, okay?
These cracks along the sidewalk.
Little 8K.
You're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just.
Little high pass, even though I likely recorded this with a high pass. For those who don't know what that means, I'm basically taking a filter you can see right here in the bottom right of this processor and just not letting any frequencies come through under a certain point. So when I recorded this vocal, I know for a fact that I used a high pass on this. I actually recorded this vocal through a hardware SSL console. And so I used exactly the same tool that you see here. And so I know for a fact that I printed this in. And actually for those nerds that are wondering how I recorded this vocal, I used, if I'm not mistaken, a Neumann U67 vintage tube microphone. I have 2 of them. I used that for sure. I ran it through the SSL console's preamp and EQ. And of course it's compression. You can see this is the copy of the channel here. Also ran it after that into what's a tube compressor, I believe 1 channel of the Summit Audio DCL 2000, and then after that through an 1176. So this vocal, I'll solo it for you. You can hear the vocal even with no processing on it, and listen to how well it's recorded.
Along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by.
So we've already got a pretty great vocal. So we have to keep that processing in mind. Don't over compress and all those things. So we're gonna get back to the process here. Okay, this is bypassed. And let's bring that SSL channel back in. There's some 8K you can see that's boosted around 6 dB. A little bit of total harmonic distortion from the microphone preamp of the SSL pre, and some light compression with a fast release, just catching some, peaks. You can see the gain reduction down here. I'm just hitting like maybe 3 dB of compression.
Along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just out of reach. You know the clock is ticking.
So this is a beautiful vocal. It's a beautiful song. I'm going to keep going with my process here. I don't hear any problems with sibilance yet. Let's see again.
Along the sidewalk.
No, again, recorded really well. So something tells me right now, because I would normally go to an 1176, my favorite compressor in the entire world. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use a model of a of a Fairchild compressor. Same compressor I used 2 of them actually to record Kevin Martin's vocal on the last Candlebox album. So let's go ahead and load up a Fairchild compressor. This compressor is very interesting. It is beautiful. To me, I said this earlier today to some friends. It's the Cadillac of compression that that for vocals. And I like the way it sounds. It kind of tames high end. Let's go ahead and put some compression on his vocal after the SSL process.
Along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus.
So this is actually now just brought out a little bit of sibilance, which we're going to go ahead and see if we can sort out now with just a simple de-esser. There's a lot of great de-essers on the market for you in terms of plugins. And I'm going to use the Renaissance de-esser from Waves, but a lot of them do a really good job. Todd, the fuck? Only pans, dude.
Along the sidewalk.
All right, this is working way too hard.
Along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it.
This is huge. Listen to the difference, okay? We're gonna go and bypass the de-esser now.
Along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky.
And let's do that again with the compression. I mean, the de-esser on.
Along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus.
Now, this is a really huge move because it's subtle, but it is controlling those frequencies above what seems to be 5,506 hertz. This is big because later on, we're going to do some things to add some excitement in the top end of the vocal. And we want that to affect the vocal at large, but we don't want that sibilance to get hyper accented. So we're controlling it first with the de-esser here.
Along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the.
I'm going to go do a different part of the song that seems to look louder and see how this feels.
Still hope got each other.
And just kind of check my compression levels.
Still hope got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know well.
Cool. All right. I'm going to get to that place pretty soon. I know that Unity of Noise, Who's the Metro, I think Jory Avner Music all said put a plate on the snare drum. I think they're right. Just a reminder, we are getting there, and I think they're absolutely correct. A plate reverb on the snare drum. I think it's going to be a long one. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. We've processed EQ. We've done some dynamics to control and given some of that nice love from the Fairchild circuit and de-essed, gotten rid of some of the sibilance. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something where I like to add a lot of sparkle to the vocal. I'm going to use the beautiful Pultec EQP1A. It tends to have a really nice, smooth high end to it. I'm going to go at 12K here. And let's go ahead and boost it as the vocal is playing.
Still hope got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up cause we can't fall down and we can.
I heard a plosive.
Stand up cause we can't fall down.
Ooh.
Stand up cause we can't fall.
Wow, guys, this is a great chance to show you a really cool trick we have to do.
Stand up, cause we can't fall.
You guys hear that plosive on the can't?
Stand up, cause we can't fall.
There's like some bass in there. It shouldn't be there.
Can't fall. Can't fall.
Ooh. That's not good. We're gonna go ahead and do something here. We're gonna open an EQ, and we're gonna extra take high end or low end out of that. And just render it. There. I took out up to 222 hertz. Did it work?
Stand up, cause we can't fall down.
It did. You're welcome. Let's go back.
Stand up, cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love.
Beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead, play this vocal again from the top. I'm gonna send this vocal to my plate reverb, just get some nice bright bloom around the vocal. Let it sit into the track a bit, and also maybe sneak in some of my hall reverb as well, and just kind of give it some of that really cool sort of like dreamy effect to it. Here's some of that plate being snuck in.
There's cracks along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus.
Nice.
Everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just
enough. And let's go ahead and send some of this to the hall as well. Oh, that was to the hall. That sounded nice. Let's put the plate in now.
There's cracks along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus.
I'm going to add an L1 to the vocal. We're just going to add an L1 limiter. Just, I don't want to over limit it. The L1 tends to bring out a lot of chestiness and a lot of diaphragmatic, just sort of weight to the vocal.
There's cracks along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just out of reach. You know the clock is ticking, and you know there's no guarantees. So you fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me. And you ask me if you're crowding me, but you were always my fantasy. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope, got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up.
Cool, the vocal's sounding pretty cool here. So how does it sound right now, the levels that it's at? There's no automation, none of that going on. Where does the vocal sit without even touching any levels or anything towards a louder part of the tune?
Give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love.
Okay, so now we hear the vocal just towards that part, that section, and we know there's more going on here. All right. I'm going to start moving a little bit faster. We're going to start bringing in some other elements.
Give me all your
Great. This is fun. So let's go ahead and we brought on those really cool arpeggiated Les Pauls, those guitars. Let's go ahead and give them some love. We just want to compress them a bit, give them some sustain.
Give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your
let's go ahead and give them some dimension. We're going to go ahead and throw in that CLA guitar plugin and just use the delays and reverbs on it. Let's go quarter note. Let's go nuts. What's that going to sound like? Cool. So now we're in an interesting place. The drums are starting to sound pretty powerful. Not a bad thing. Hey, Pablo, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. How you doing? Good to see you.
Give me all your.
So let's start to chill out some of those cymbals.
Give me all your love. Give me all. Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind.
Cool. So we hear some harmony vocals that are like unmuted. That's great. This is good, guys. So we're almost there. We're about to get to a really cool part of the tune. Let's do this. We're going to go ahead and start to bring in my piano. The piano has a lot to do with this.
Keep your focus when everything you want is flying.
Let's come in right around here.
So you fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me and you ask. Always my favorite.
Yeah, you know what, dude? I am going to be streaming more. I'm just trying to, figure out what time brackets are good for me. But thank you for the comment. This is the piano track I've played in. We're just going to kind of do some compression on it. We're going to clean it up and basically get to a place where we can have it sit in as a nice sort of syncopated element.
Fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me and you ask me, always my fantasy.
I think it's good to throw that into our hall as well. Let's throw that into our hall reverb, that piano. Beautiful piano.
Fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me and you ask me if you're crowding me, but you were always my fantasy. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up cause we can't fall down and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love.
Great. This is great. Now, one of the cool things that happened in this is I remember, maybe having one or two too much of these. And I had this great idea of using a really cool slide guitar to bring us a little bit of a dreamy effect into these choruses. What does that sound like?
And you ask me if you're crowding me, but you were always my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your.
I love this thing. Fucking love this thing. We're going to clean her up. We're going to clean her up so she's not fighting anything else. Just get the high pass going. Not too much, though, because there's a body to it when it hits. I don't want to lose. And we should send that to the hall reverb as well.
Just give me all your. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up. Trust this with our feet on the ground.
I'm going to check my hall reverb to make sure there's not like a buildup of mid-range there. Good.
Burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your. 'Cause if the
let's bring in the drums, I guess. I mean, we'll go to that section.
You know that you can tell me when nobody will take your calls. You know I'll be behind you. When you
Thank you,
try to
Jim.
smash down those walls, it's gonna be amazing.
Let's see those really cool repeat guitars that we did. Let's go ahead and put those in the hall as well. Just kind of sync that into the acoustic space with everyone else.
You know that you can tell me when nobody will take your calls. You know I'll be behind you. When you try to smash down those walls, it's gonna be amazing.
This is a really good time to bring up my vocal parallel bus. So what I'm about to do is send a copy of this vocal into a pretty like slammed compressor and slowly bring that in just to bolster the vocal part so that when Craig kind of goes down in dynamic, we don't really lose what he meant to sing there. Unity of Noise says, goes to show you don't absolutely need high-end gear if you know what you're doing. Polish a nerd. I like that. I like polishing a nerd too. That's funny, dude. Well, I mean, the only high-end thing that you need is how you dream of your mix and patience. So you can actually practice getting there, and definitely do not be afraid to fail. You must fail. It's how I got here. Okay, so let's keep going on this. We're going to parallel this vocal. We're just going to send it to a parallel bus that will have, let's see, do I even have it? Yeah, there it is. It has an 1176 slammed at 20-1. And let's just send that vocal in.
You know that you can tell me when nobody will take your calls. You know I'll be behind you when you try to smash down those walls.
So something really interesting that's going on now as I hear this in the mix is the vocal is actually starting to get a really weird honky mid-range. I'm going to add a second de-esser to this. And this de-esser, this is on the lead vocal, by the way. This de-esser is going to act not as a shelf. We're going to make this one a bell-shaped de-esser. And we're going to go ahead and kind of like see what happens if we set this around like 2K. Because I feel like it's kind of a honky sort of frequency in that vocal.
You know that you can tell me when nobody will take your calls. You know I'll be behind you when you try to smash down those walls. It's gonna be amazing when they find out just who you are, 'cause you kept believing even when the pain was so damn hard. Why don't you fall into my arms and you can...
This is a great time to bring up my friend Coda, who's saying, this is a really funny story. Coda was doing, she's an influencer in LA, and she was doing a photo shoot in my house as I was producing the song. And she's also a really badass like pop and R&B singer. And I pulled her out of like whatever Suicide Girls or whatever she was doing out in the rest of my house. I go, hey, Coda, come in here. I need you to sing some harmonies. So let's bring Coda in and do some really simple things to support, use her vocals to support Craig. So what do those sound like?
Fall into my arms.
Yeah. Cool.
Fall into my arms.
So I already have this vocal going, this vocal plugin running on the bus for Coda. But what I'm going to do before this, though, is I'm going to throw in an EQ before it hits these, just to kind of sweeten them and give them a more like angelic and sort of like sizzly quality to them. Let's actually get to a part where she's like singing a lot, like right there. Okay. These are going to be great. I already know I love these, and I think I already want to drown them with fucking verb here, chamber, verb, and fuck it. I just sweetened her up with that Omni channel, and we're gonna put a de-esser on her so her consonants don't like flam with Craig's. And let's actually sneak those in right here.
Even when the pain.
Oop, that fucking dun, 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 dun. That guitar's kind of loud. Let's bring her down. Still loud as fuck, dude. Relax.
Even when the pain is so damn hard, why don't you fall into my arms and you can.
So we heard Coda come in, so we're gonna go and sneak her in now.
Even when the pain is so damn hard, why don't you fall into my arms and you can squeeze the hell out.
More high end, more treble. Overdo it. Fuck it.
Even when the pain is so damn hard, why don't you fall into my arms and you can squeeze the hell out of me. And you'll ask me if I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know this.
I already see what seems to be some other electric guitars that are supposed to join this mix, I think. Nope, it's the arpeggiated ones.
Whole world is burning down. I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your.
So we see a middle eight is starting to come up, and I think this bridge is going to have some energy to it. So let's go and do this. Before we get to that section, we know that we have other elements that are supposed to be there. There is a muted cymbal swell going on here. And let's just bring that in very quickly. I need to bust these over to the drums all. And look at what does this cymbal swell sound like?
You know there's no guarantees, so you fall in.
Oh, that's fucking obvious. Here, let's clean that up. We're just gonna clean that up and kind of give it kind of a sizzly, more trebly sort of feel.
You know there's no guarantees, so you fall into my.
And let's actually send a shitload of that to the hall reverb, that cymbal, so that it gets a little bit of really cool acoustic decay just from the hall.
You know there's no guarantees. You know there's no guarantees, so you fall into my arms and you.
Great. And what's this? Is a shaker going on here?
Along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky.
How the fuck did I manage so much low end in that shaker? Bye. Leave it. Just leave it.
Along the sidewalk,
we're gonna sneak it down.
You're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus. When everything you want is flying by, it seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just out of reach. You know the clock is ticking.
I don't know about you guys. I want more acoustic guitar.
But you were always my fantasy.
All right, cool. Again, we're moving quickly. I can't really do these full mixes in 2.5 hours, but we're gonna get to a really cool version of this mix. Let's bring in, excuse me. Let's bring in the tambourine now.
But you were always my fantasy.
Wait, we don't want a shaker there in that little pause.
You were always my fantasy.
Fuck off, dude. Get out. Peace.
Hell out of me.
Actually, I don't even want a shaker for the whole first part of the song. Go fuck yourself.
Then you squeeze the hell out of me. And you ask me.
I fucking see you, assholes.
Then you squeeze the hell out of me. And you ask me if you're crowding me, but you were always my fantasy. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still.
Okay, there's an obvious purpose for this tambourine to give us some movement. I already know one thing I'm going to do right off the bat is I'm going to do something simple for now. We're going to throw that CLA Unplugged in. Actually, before that, let me throw in a high pass again. We don't want any low end coming in if I kick to the mic stand or like let out a huge fart. Metro knows what I'm talking about. And we're going to go ahead and just give some reverb and some compression to this tambourine.
'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each
And then of course, let's sync it down to the track. It should be more felt than heard.
'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up 'cause we can't fall down and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know that you can tell me when nobody will take your calls. You know I'll be behind you when you try to smash down those walls. It's gonna be amazing.
Cool, Jim.
When they find out just who you are.
All right, Coda's vocals are coming up.
Even when the pain is so damn hard. Why don't you fall into my arms and you can squeeze the hell out of me? And you'll ask me if I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me
All right, a lot of energy here, so we're just gonna automate the vocal when that comes in, that chorus.
world is burning me. And you'll ask me if I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me
See, I didn't mind that automation of the volume there, but sometimes it's not the most obvious moves. Let's actually not automate the volume of that vocal there. And what we will do is instead, we will automate how much of that gets sent to the parallel channel. Just very compressed, so it's less spiky.
'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up 'cause we can't fall down and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your.
Great, loved it. Loved it. And now what we're going to do, there's a vocal that seems to occur. It's another lead vocal right there in the middle 8. So just for the sake of speed for the stream, I'm actually just going to copy all these plugins from the lead vocal into that main one, of the main vocal that's coming up for the middle 8, because I already know that it was recorded exactly the same way. And we're going to go ahead and check the level on that and bring in those harmonies. And I think the moment I've been waiting for is actually bringing Mr. Stevie Black strings in. So let's see. Let me go ahead. I'm just copying over reverb sounds as well. And let's see how this feels. Oh, the parallel as well. Let's do that without the automation. Excuse me. From the other one. Here we go.
Why don't all your love? I got this picture in my mind of us leaving them all behind. Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind. It's like
Okay, I already know that cool slide guitar should actually get automated up.
it's like we're living on a prayer. Our fate will show, leaving them all behind.
And then brought back down for the vocal return.
It's like we're living. It's like we're living on a prayer. Our fate will show us our way there. We're gonna.
I bet there's a tambourine running there. We should bring that up just to give it some energy.
Of us. Give me all your love.
What about all those other instruments that are running through here? For instance, that really cool B3 organ I was playing. Maybe we should give this thing some love.
I got this picture in my mind of us leaving them all behind. Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind. It's like we're living.
And I also saw something really exciting. I didn't know I had more guitars, and I just discovered, oh, this is awesome. What looks to be some rhythm guitars that joined the band at this point onwards. Let's see what they do. Nice. Just using some EQ to sweeten them up. Some 300 for some weight. Big high pass going on here. And again, just using some simple reverb, an eighth note delay from that CLA Guitars plugin right after this SSL.
Of us leaving them all behind. Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind.
We haven't looked at our bass in a while. Let's give that some love.
I got this picture in my mind of us leaving them all behind.
You know what? There is a lot of experience behind this, Pav. There is a lot of experience behind it, but it's to the point where I now treat mixing like another instrument. And everyone can actually get there if you love this part of it enough. I didn't know I was going to love this when I was younger. I had no idea that I was actually going to love mixing as much as I do now. I don't really know. I've said this in another stream before, but my brothers have made the comment, you know, maybe Dean likes mixing a lot. They don't know that I spend a lot of time on the analog equipment doing it, but they see me doing it with a computer and they're like, it's all those video games he plays. It's just another video game to him. It's a joke they make, but they could be right as far as the graphic thing goes with a graphical user interface. But I actually hate looking at screens for this. Those guitars sounded cool when they came in. So you guys have stuck around for a lot of this. This is actually the fucking longest I've ever like mixed on stream. And I usually don't want to go this long, but we are so close to the end and we are almost able to bring in Mr. Stevie Black. I cannot wait to bring in these fucking strings. Metro, the better the source is recorded, the faster you can get to the finish line of the DAW. So Metro is absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. So Pav, the thing with that is the mixer's job, and I know that Metro is about to agree with me on this, actually becomes almost mindlessly easy if the tracking, meaning the recording process, was done extremely well. And that's kind of the idea. So when you basically have, you know, really good team members in the sequence of the process of writing to demoing, you know, to arranging and producing the song and tracking it up until this moment, if it's done well, then actually, and Metro I think will agree to this too, if our job as a mixing engineer was literally just to take these faders and move them on the bottom and never have to use EQs or any other processing, then that's fine. So that's basically what we're getting at, you know? And I've had some mixes in my life where it's like, I don't need to do shit to this, you know? Great tracking engineers involved, of course. That's really nice of you to say, Nathaniel. Thanks, dude. Let's keep listening. We're going to bring in some other harmonies from Kreger's here. Oh my God, those are so important. Those are so important. Those need a little. Let's for the sake of this stream. Those need a really cool vocal bus, just to give them a bit of dimension and just maybe a little delay trail. We'll sit those into the mix a bit. Okay. So I already have this bus created, Vox background sub, and I'm just going to send them there, and I'm just going to pan them wide. I want these to come in really nice and angelic and just hug that beautiful vocal that Craig is singing. Really simple stuff here. We're just going to go ahead and here, let me highlight it so we can listen to it. And it's so funny, guys, when you listen to this in Metro and Unity of Noise and anyone else that records anything that's in the chat. If I solo these now, you can hear something funny.
Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind.
You can actually tell that I was feeling this harmony like in the moment, and I didn't even send the singer back into the tracking room. I was like, fuck it. I probably threw him a SM7, you know, and I said, just hold this microphone, because you can actually hear like my mix or my tracking session being played actually quite loud behind the vocal.
Oh yeah,
so we're gonna mitigate that with some high pass.
oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind.
Don't be afraid of that stuff, you guys.
Oh yeah, we're leaving.
Okay, we're just gonna give a shitload of high end of that. We're gonna take some mid range out of it because, you know, I don't want it to fight the main vocal. And let's just hear how that sounds already. I'm not, well, let's compress a little bit. I don't even need to fucking hear it right now.
Leaving them all behind. Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind.
Beautiful. 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 Fuck that. That's great. Let's throw the CLA vocals on for the sake of being quick. Metro says, watch a Mick Gazowski tutorial. He makes such little moves. He uses very minimal plugins, just like Dean is doing. You don't need every plugin in the world in your session either. Dean session is super light, which is awesome. Yeah, dude, Metro, thanks. And I know that you well understand the principle with that, and it's absolutely true. So we're just adding a bit more love at these harmonies up there. Some even more toppity top end, and let's do some big reverb trails and stuff on it. Maybe some quarter note delay as well.
Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind.
Let's do a shorter reverb, leave the quarter note delay, and I'm happy with that for the sake of the stream. This is good. Let's send these to the vocals all. That's beautiful. Leave it.
Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind. It's like we're living on a prayer. Our faith will show us our way there. We're gonna make it on the way together.
Now, I know that Coda, the female vocalist that was singing in here earlier, has a really cool part here. So we're going to go ahead and automate this way up.
It's like we're living on a prayer. Our faith will show us our way there. We're gonna make it on. It's like we're living on a prayer. Our faith will show us our way there. We're gonna make it on the way together. It's just
Woo! Homegirl.
it's like we're living on a prayer. Our faith will show us our way there. We're gonna show us our way there. We're gonna make it on the way together. It's just us.
So there's 4 vocals you see in her bus. The first 2 are singing like this. We're halfway there, like between his like main vocal lines. And I'm going to go ahead and just automate those we're halfway there vocals down. And the reason why I'm doing this just in the second half is so that they don't overhit the compressors that come in later that will overcompress this really cool harmony that happens here in the same bus.
We're gonna make it on the way together. It's just
So that works.
we're gonna make it on the way together. It's
Just checking our bus.
we're gonna make it on the way together. It's just us together.
And I know that I have a lone vocal sitting here. And I know what I'm going to do with this.
Cause if the whole world is
It's kind of a vocal that I had him sing in. I knew that I was going to do an effect to this, and I'm just going to run something really simple. It's a Renaissance channel, kind of all in one, and just kind of put the intent that I wanted in, which is kind of like lo-fi it.
Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know this. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know this.
Just going to compress it in here.
Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know this.
That's good. Leave it.
Will show us our way there. We're gonna make it all the way together. It's just us together. Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope.
Oh, yeah. I have this.
Whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now.
Let's clean that fucker up. Let's clear that up. It's a little tubby. You want that to be a little bright and thin. Give us a place to go. Give us a place to go and create some. Yeah.
Whole world is burning. Whole world is burning down. I know there's still hope. Got each other.
And we'll actually send that thing to the hall too. Why not? Let's see.
Whole world is burning down. I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up as we.
Now, I find this interesting because we're at a place where earlier on we were talking, you don't even know Jory Abner and Metro had mentioned putting a plate reverb on that snare drum. For you guys that have been sitting here, you've been very patient. I can't believe where this mix has gone and that I spent this much time. But it does deserve one last bit of love. The beautiful strings for Mr. Stevie Black, the famous Stevie Black, will be the last things that we add in. So I'm going to take one more bathroom break and come back for those strings and to end the stream and hang out with you guys, okay? I'm looking at the viewership and everyone else. I can't believe you guys are still here. I hope you guys are getting something cool out of this, okay? I'll see you in a bit. Whew. Hey guys, again, holy crap! I didn't expect this mix to go this long, but we're almost done. One more ensemble to bring, or the string ensemble to bring in. How you guys doing in chat? Yo, Jesse, what's up? I see what's in a Jesse here. What's going on, dude? Dear Samwise, as we all do, calling out Mr. Beto Boost for sleeping. What's up, Jesse? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, man. So, Jesse, been mixing a song today. It's going really well, actually. Turn that off. And we're at the last bit, I think, you know? We're at the last bit. Actually, this is a good time because I know there's people that are also lurking as well. If you guys are getting something out of this and you want more out of this, and you'd like to ask, do a Q&A or anything, like I said, I generally hang out for about 20-30 minutes in my VC. Hey, Jim, welcome back. There's a voice channel on my Discord that's called Dean's Control Room. It's at the very bottom of the channels. I'll be in there for a little while. I generally like to hang out with my mods a bit. Sometimes Unity Noise comes in and this and that, and basically we just kind of hang out, talk audio, whatever the hell you want to do, listen to music. But if you guys have any questions, anything that have to do with this, I'll be there. Also, I will be posting the mixes that happen from stream into a channel also in my Discord. I think it's called like Mixes from Stream or something like that. It's near the top. So we can always re-reference those if there's something we want to talk about. There is just serves a voice channel just for fun. There is one last thing we've got to add to this mix, guys. One last thing. The beautiful strings from Mr. Stevie Black, all over Rihanna, Ellie Goulding, Troye Sivan, all that. Let's listen to the strings. Okay, let's take a break from the track. So I have all the strings here, all these blue tracks of the strings. We're going to turn them down. Or not turn them down, we're going to shrink them so I can see them all. And actually, I will open them back up. If you guys take a look at the first three tracks here, this is violin section. Oh God, I need to oh my God. I actually did this wrong. So what he did, the way he did this for me is he would perform sections. Here, this is close mic'd violin. Oh my goodness, he actually did. Oh no, that's viola. Excuse me. Shit. What he gave me were close mics and room mics for all these strings. I'm just organizing, excuse me. So I'm just confirming now. We have violin, close mic, room mic for violin 1, violin 2, close mic, room, viola 1, close mic and room, viola 2, close mic and room. We've got the cello section 1, close mic and room, cello section 2, and double bass 1 and 2. Holy shit. What does this sound like together? So we have this running into a pretty dry bus for the strings. Let's load up like one of the, I'm gonna turn all the strings down so they won't have a level creep. And let's listen to what goes down kind of. Mr. CV Black. What a pleasure. So if you guys were here for the other part of the mix, you would have heard, I'll mute these strings. And obviously these are bolstering a melody from this part of the. It's like So what the hell do? We've got a big rock band with lots of saturation and high end and energy. How the fuck are we going to get? Yes, Lord Choice, it is beautiful. Jim, it is so beautiful. What are we gonna do? How do we get this? How do we get these strings to sit in this? It's pretty like light rock in a sense in terms of a mix. There's not a lot, it's not like big distortion guitars, but the band's jamming. What are we gonna do to get these strings to sit in? Do we freak out because of all the room mics and all this shit going on? I don't know. What are we gonna do? What the fuck are we gonna do? First thing we're gonna try to do is let's see if we can right off the bat. Well, tell you what, how's my CPU doing? Yeah, we're okay. Right off the bat, I'm gonna solo all the strings out. And let's just go ahead and give the strings. There's this plugin that exists in Pro Tools. It's called Lo-Fi. I don't use it for what it's meant for. I just use the distortion circuit on this. And it's gonna give some weird priority to the strings. Watch this. I'm just gonna turn it up, this little distortion, to like 0.5. Listen to that. Bypass. On. All right. Crazy how that works. I'm just gonna leave that there, okay? And now what we're gonna do, let's throw in a just a simple SSL channel, okay? It's kind of a mid-range bump, kind of. Unity and noise. Okay. We're gonna leave all the levels. If you guys look at the levels for all those room mics and the close mics, they're all at the same level right now. Okay. So we're gonna see what happens without even touching the levels of these strings at all, even submixing it, nothing. Let's get rid of some bass. Okay, we just did a high pass there. And one of the things I love the most about strings, you guys, is that beautiful sound that happens when the horsehair of that bow just hit those beautiful strings. And I want to bring that out. Funny enough, you might think I'd go to an EQ at this point, and I will. But we already know that there are some priority instruments here. There's a bass guitar happening. There's some low end actually happening from the guitars too. So maybe we don't need all the actual low end frequencies from these double basses, but we want them there because they audibly fulfill a chord interval, right? So what we're going to do right now is right off the bat is I'm going to go ahead and bring down the room mics of those double basses a little bit. And I'm going to pan them, the close mics, just a little off center. I want the double basses to sit next to each other. I used to perform in the symphony, so I have an idea where these guys would normally sit. And we're going to go ahead and listen to this. And we know that we know that it sounds like a viola to me, and we know that those are priority. So before we touch any levels, let's actually go to the close mics of those violas. I was wrong, or it could be viola 1, could be viola section 1. Yep, I was right. No, it was violin 1. Shit. What's violin 2 doing? Unison. Great. Let's throw some simple EQ onto these violins, just the direct channels. Okay? And we're just going to bring up some high end there. Oops. Okay, good. I'm going to copy this over to violin 2. Maybe some mid-range too, like a little under the vocal frequency, some 2K. Great. So they're standing out on top of the ensemble now. Hey, The Kill, what is up, man? How you doing, dude? Good morning. All right, we're going to use the overall EQ now on the strings bus and see if we can just kind of like pull things out. I just bumped like the high middle frequencies in the SSL. And I'm gonna do like a pretty huge bump right here of like 10K and kind of move around the frequencies and see if I like any sort of accentuation that comes out of the whole ensemble. Beautiful. God, you gotta be careful with compression here. You can tell I'm thinking about this. I'm going to use an omni channel here. And the reason why I'm going to do this is really important. Yeah, I'm okay. I miss you too. Octai, good to see you, man. All right. So we're going to bring this in. And the reason why I'm going to do this is we're going to use this compressor. We're going to use a compressor on the omni channel, but I loaded the omni channel for a reason. Unity of noise, Metro, all you nerds. Pay attention to this omni channel. Jory Abner. Check this out. I'll go for an optical compressor for now. This is going to act like an LA2A. And I'm going to open this little filter section on the compressor. Oops. One second. I'm just going to work. Actually, for 1 minute. I'm just going to work on the attack and release. Fast release. I want this sort of like almost sforzando to just kind of pump out. Okay, let's get in here. So this high pass filter that I'm turning on here. Yeah, Metro, I do love this thing. Yeah, yes, right. You can reorder it. It works really well. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to turn on. So you can see here, the compressor sections here. I'm not using really anything else. I might add saturation to this in the front, but I'm going to click on this little icon right here and open up the compressor, and you'll see, a high pass filter right here. This high pass filter is important because what's going to happen here is whatever is under the frequency that I set it as, it's going to be allowed to pass through, and it will not affect the compression. So we'll only compress the band of frequencies above this. So this will allow the natural low end to come through from the strings, but also we can kind of sort of multi-band prioritize the rest of the string section, maybe bring out some of the attack of those bows. I'm going to play with saturation now. Wow, see, quick bypass, you can see this small move. Here, come back in. This is interesting. So, few moves. Let's just see how this feels.
I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down and
I can already tell I don't need that much low end. So I'm going to go back into the bus and just remove some low mids. This is the bus EQ, the first bus EQ.
I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your all.
And again, for the sake of this stream, I love these plugins. Using them little by little. We'll use the CLA Unplugged, and we'll use this for its reverb circuits first. Let's see how that feels. Okay, that saturation on my Omni channel is out of control. I'm gonna bring that down. Okay. But don't be afraid of that stuff, because sometimes that can make it sound right inside the mix. Don't be afraid of those things. Take your risks.
Burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up 'cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your.
Cool. Let's get an idea. And I know we're playing pieces of the song. We're going to listen to all this together in a bit as a reward. But let's see how the rest of the strings are going to deal with this processing in other parts of the tune.
You fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me, and you ask me if you're crazy. So you fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me, and you ask me if you're crowding me, but you fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope.
I already want a lot of vocal. I want way more vocal now. Here, tell you what. Let's do something fun. This is about the time that I do this. I'm going to play this through the whole track and make moves as I go.
There's cracks along the sidewalk, but you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just out of reach. You know the clock is ticking, and you know there's no guarantees. So you fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me, and you ask me if you're crowding me, but you were always my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your. Stand up 'cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. But you're just looking at the sky. You're trying to keep your focus when everything you want is flying by. It seems like you could touch it, but then it's moving just out of reach. You know the clock is ticking, and you know there's no guarantees. So you fall into my arms and you squeeze the hell out of me, and you ask me if you're crowding me, but you were always my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up 'cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know that you can tell me when nobody will take your call. know I'll be behind you. When you try to smash down those walls, it's gonna be amazing when they find out just who you are. 'Cause you even when the pain is so damn hard. Why don't you fall into my arms and you can squeeze the hell out of me? And you'll ask me if I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy.
I want to replay that section for Coda's sake, the background vocals from the female.
Pain is so damn hard. Why don't you fall into my arms and you can squeeze the hell out of me? And you'll ask me if I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Ask me if I feel alright. I'll say I'm living my fantasy. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up 'cause we can't fall down, and we can trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. I got this picture in my mind of us leaving them all behind. Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind. It's like we're living on a prayer. Our faith will show us our way there. We're gonna make it all the way together. It's just us together. 'Cause if the whole world is burning down, I know there's still hope. Got each other now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your.
This is sounding great. We're almost at the end. I want to go ahead and see what I can do about, if you remember listening to those strings that were following sort of the end of that middle eight. Can we bring those up?
Of us leaving them all behind. Oh yeah, we're leaving them all behind. It's like we're living on a prayer. Our faith will.
So I already know these basses have to come down. They have to come down. The cellos have to come down a little bit just to let the compressor take a hold of that beautiful viola and violin section.
On a prayer, our faith will show us our way there. We're gonna make it all the way together. It's just us together.
Thanks, Darren.
Whole world is burning down. I know there's still now. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up 'cause we can't fall down, and we will trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. All your love.
I think this whole outro needs some more tambo, guys. More tambo. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Here we go.
Now just give me all your love. Give me all your love. You know we'll stand up 'cause we can't fall down, and we will trust this with our feet on the ground. Just give me all your love. Give me all your love. All your love. Yeah. Don't you wanna give all your love? Yeah.
Well, shit. That was a longer stream than I'm normally used to. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Jesus. Oh my God. I actually can't believe that there's still people in the viewership in the chat. Oh my God, dude. Thank you for listening to that, you guys. Oh, thanks, Todd. Kind comments. Yo. LG, what's going on? Are you doing all right? So, man, that was a really interesting mix. That was a really interesting mix. It's so funny. I was having a big conversation today with, I was hanging out with Unity of Noise, and Jory Aver Music was there, and Lord Choice and Beto Boost, and thank you, Sam Wise. Thank you so much. The heavier music, you know, it's so funny, as harmonically rich as that stuff is, it's almost easier to deal with than something that has a lot more emotional and very dynamic and emotional importance when you're dealing with this type of music, you know. And I work in many different genres of music, and I have a really, really devout love for, you know, all kinds of genres of music, you know, and it's really special to me to be able to, I'm very grateful that, you know, I still work in it and clients hire me for these things. And I hope that today you can see one of the reasons why I love working on stuff like this. It's a different approach. It's a very different philosophy. And a lot of the same equipment's used, but you know, you gotta respect it a bit differently. So I will make a bounce of this. I'll be in my VC. So again, I'm gonna go to my VC now, and my voice channel in Discord. So if you can do the Discord post again for anyone who wants to be there, it's called Dean's Control Room. It's at the very bottom of the channels. If anyone has any questions about this, I'm literally just gonna hang out in that Discord, and whoever wants to talk about anything while I make the bounce of this for the Discord. I'm really thankful that you guys were here, and my friends are here to support me, and I know that. But there's definitely people here that I know learned a lot from this, and I hope that more people continue to do so. Thank you, Seer. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, thanks for saying that, dude. God, 2 hours and 46 minutes. I don't think it came out badly for a very quick mix, and that's kind of the format, Seer, that I try to do here, which is to, you know, can we get to a pro place, you know, in just a couple of hours? And there are things, you know, that I would have done normally in a general mix if I'm on the clock, not streaming, and maybe if there's a demand for it, you know, I will do those things in the future, which is like, you know, the streams could be 3 to 4 hours long at that point, but basically, there are some really cool techniques for everyone else that's listening, where I tend to do things like using a lot more very specific console saturation, tape machine saturation, and even getting to places where I can delve very deeply into calibrating and biasing your erase heads on your tape machines to get certain results, and not just on the whole mix, but for buses and actually on individual tracks as well. So if there's a demand for that, I will do that in the future. Thank you to everyone that for the support on the stream. I know you know, I don't play cover songs and do those sorts of things, you know, but I know that a lot of people will get a lot out of this, and especially in the times of COVID-19 and the weird protocols and the lockdowns that keep going up and down. I've been traveling so much, I don't know what's okay anymore. Do I wear a mask? Do I put the mask on my right butt cheek? You know, I don't know what the fuck's going on, you know, but I do know this: a lot of people are stuck, and they need, they could use the guidance, because there was no left butt cheek, butthole mask. I had some incredible mentors coming up, but earlier in my career, I didn't have someone answering questions like the things I addressed today. So I hope that for those lurkers and other people that are still here, that it matters to, that it does help you quite a bit. I'm going to go to my VC now and kind of hang out. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I think the next stream that I do, I was thinking about like composing an ambient composition. I promised Serin, if you guys don't know who that is, Lexi, I promised that I would write one for her on stream. And I might do that next. And of course, the heavy music and stuff. And I've got something really cool planned for a series of streams. I know a lot of you guys know I have a band called Dead and Amelia with Nick Sounds, who's Krista. I also have another band called Ink. And I'm going to finish that album on stream. That'll be a lot of fun. Dude, rock and roll, you guys. Thank you for being here and for the support. I really mean that. And hope you have a good night. Bye.